Hey everybody, check this out. This is the 120 Proto that's here having the engine replaced, and of course while it's up on the hoist we have a bit of a look around, and one of the things I noticed is looks like it's got no brake pads left. Yeah, that outer pad on the rear there's lucky if there's a slither left, but look, pretty low on the inside, certainly overdue for replacement. If people don't know about brakes, obviously you need to take it to someone that does, or you need to watch lots of videos and get yourself educated, self-training. Right, the disc rotor, that's pretty obvious. That's the part in the middle there. The pad here, that's the thicker part. About, you know, it's pretty hard to really point out. I need a pointer stick for that, don't I? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've got a brakes playlist. Check that out as well. These rotors, slotted, you don't actually need those. What you need is new pads. Stick with genuine, they're the cheapest because they last a decent amount of time. So cheaper isn't always cheaper. Same thing, those pads, almost metal to metal. That's going to be scraping any minute. Another way you can tell from the outside when you've got your wheels on, if you're just a bit of a DIY, when you wash your car, you can have a look at the outside part of the caliper here. See this area, that plate there, both top and bottom. All right, this area here, that's where that's the outer side of the pad just there. You can see the brake pad. When the pads are new, they sit out near the outside of it, all right? And you can see they're about 10 millimeters in, which means not quite, because they're not always out on the edge, but the pads are probably 8 or 9 mil and they're right all the way in. So there's absolutely no meat left on those rear brakes. So let's go to the front and have a look at the front brakes, so you can have a bit of an idea what's what and who's who in the zoo. Looks like they had the fuel filler hose. I know it's rock hard, so I might need to get that done as well as a recommendation, preventative maintenance. Oh look, nice new engine. That looks good, doesn't it? Still needs a clean up though. It was very messy, this one, so after a clean up once the job's all done. But brakes, not looking like much better at the front here. Some cheap aftermarket pads maybe. They're orange in colour. What brand are they? I wouldn't know. But see, this is probably a better one as an example. You can see the thickness of the rotor here, the ventilation, the thickness of the rotor. So that's the disc rotor. This is the backing plate of the pad, and that's the lining, what's left, and it's well below the backing plate thickness. Below it is okay, but once it gets well below it like that, look, the brakes get hotter, and when they're hotter, they wear faster. For everybody else that's not too sure about brakes, this is a 4-piston caliper. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so they're the pistons pushing out. You can just sort of see the alloy color a little bit, just right sort of in there. This is the rubber boot that seals all the dust from getting in, and in behind there, and the piston has got a seal and that sort of thing. And when someone's had the brakes off this one, you can see they've bent the brake line. It's been bent around. When you do brakes on these, you can't just unbolt the caliper and take the caliper off, because that's what's going to happen. This is going to get bent. You've got to, well, what I do again, I remove the 10 mil, remove the 12 mil, this whole clamp comes off, and then you hang the caliper up here somewhere on a piece of wire or something like that. Once again, slotted rotors. Probably just really a waste of money more than anything. Don't forget our discount we've got on the LSI Auto website. Best, cheapest rotors. I mean, at the end of the day, they're all scrap metal. They're just going to be brakes. They all work the same. They'll all end up pulsating at some point in time, maybe. But, you know, you can get rotors like this. You're spending a lot of money, and it's just not really required, to be honest. What is required is replacing the pads. Once again, these ones here, there's bloody not much left there. It's definitely going to need some brakes before it goes too far, because that's dangerous. You're going to run out of brakes, particularly on the rear one. We'll go back to the rear in a minute. I'll tell you one of the really dangerous parts that can happen. Just found the next problem here. This rack boot is not where it's meant to be. What's going on there? Where is it? Oh no, it was just look like, hang on, let me see what's going on there. Is that just my eyes? No, yeah, it is. Maybe the rack's been replaced, because that's not what they normally look like from that end. People see what I mean, yeah? See that shiny look in there? So maybe the rack's been replaced as well. Maybe not. What's going on? It looks original at this side. Maybe it's just, it's all wet and shiny, I don't know. Better take a bit more notice next time, but I haven't noticed it looking quite like that, but that does look original, so forget I said anything. Engine looks nice and new, doesn't it? Beautiful. Okay, back to the rear, and I'll give you we'll just wrap this one up. So what can happen here, this is a single piston caliper, right? One piston. once the pads get low enough, the piston can actually pop out. So, and like I said, once they get this low, they get hotter, and when they're hot, they wear faster. Keep that in mind. Brakes wear faster when they're hot. So if you give your brakes a hard time and they're always hot, they're gonna always wear out faster. Keep them cool, they're gonna last longer. So once they get lower, they wear faster, and of course the heat transfers through the into the caliper material and the fluid. And of course, if your fluid isn't changed, you can get boiling going on in your brake fluid, and that's when you have brake fade because you can't compress air. There's nothing there, it's just spongy. You can only compress fluid. So it's important to change that brake fluid and fully flush the system every 2 years or 40,000 Ks, whichever comes first as per manufacturer's recommendations from the start. So make sure you get your vehicle serviced. A good guide of someone that doesn't service their vehicle is when they've got brake lights out, headlights out. I see a lot of vehicles on the road with at least 2 lights out. You know the vehicle hasn't been serviced any time lately. Anyway, there it is. It needs some brakes. Bada bing, bada boom. Check out the brakes playlist and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.